Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is September 23rd, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 161 of me answering your immigration related questions. As always, before beginning this video, I'm going to mention, as I mentioned in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. So let's start with the very first question, comment from Hazards 5585. Hello sir, I have applied for the immigration petition on 14th March of 2016. Now my case has been approved by USCIS and NVC has sent me the notice of being documentarily qualified. My visa class is F11, so F1. Unmarried, 21 years and above, son, daughter of US citizen. I fall under all chargeability areas. How long should I expect for my visa interview to be scheduled? I was documentarily qualified on 15th April 2023. Thank you for your response in advance. My country is Nepal. Hazards, thank you very much for your question. So let's take a look at visa bulletin, see how long more you have left for waiting for the backlog. So we're looking at F1. And you are in March 2016. Let's see what the graph A is showing us. We're going to be looking at the graph A because graph A is showing the final action dates, which is basically the full length of the backlog that you will be waiting on, starting from the very beginning, from your priority date, which is in March 2016. So right now, for all chargeability, as you can see, it is January 2015. So from January to March, about 2 months roughly, 2 maybe 3 months. It really depends on if there were like any delays or anything like this. But as of right now, looking at this, you are looking at roughly about a year and actually less than a year. Just a little bit less than a year, so like 10 months roughly before the availability of the immigrant visa, before your priority date becomes current. Here's the thing though, it depends if we will see the stable movement on the visa bulletin. So for you right now, it is very important to stay on top of the visa bulletin. Keep checking it every month on this channel. Once the new visa bulletin comes out, I make a video and compare it to the previous months. But as of right now, roughly about a year more you have to wait before your priority date becomes current. So let me post the answer here and we're going to move on to the next question, comment from Kalpana Pranavi 7355. Please respond, sir. Thank you. So the question is, hi sir, mine is F2A category. My priority date is April 2020 and documentarily qualified, completed March 2023, waiting for interview, Mumbai Embassy. Can I expect visa appointment in November? Okay, let's take a look. So Mumbai, India, separate chargeability area. I think it might be the same for F2A. Let's take a look. So F2A, all chargeability is February 2019 and India is February. So it's the same thing, but this is what we're looking at right here. F2A, India chargeability area. February 2019 is the group of people with the priority date in February 2019. As of right now, October 2023, September 2023, their immigrant visas are becoming available. October 23, because we're looking at October 2023 visa bulletin. And you are in April 2020. So you are roughly about a year away. Just like Hazards, you're just about a year away from the availability of the immigrant visa. So once your priority date becomes current, once your immigrant visa is available, that's when you can expect the interview to be scheduled. Now, keep in mind, both you and Hazards and really everyone who's watching this video, even when your immigrant visa is available and your priority date becomes current on the visa bulletin, it doesn't mean that you will get the interview immediately, because there is some administrative processing for them, scheduling the interview, sending you the notices, so far so forth. So you are still looking at some time to wait roughly. But on the plus side, you already know that that's it, it's current, your immigrant visa is available. It's just a matter of the interview to be scheduled. But from that time, roughly 1 year. So let me post the answer here and we're gonna move on to the very next comment from Geetanjali Persaud 4049. Hi, my brother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Very sorry to hear that. I am an F4 and I was documentarily qualified in 2020. My priority date is June 2007. Is there anything I could do to get to my brother faster? Thank you for asking a question, and I really hope that you can resolve the situation. Let's take a look. It really depends on the visa bulletin to see what is, so we're looking at F4 right now, all chargeability area. You didn't say which chargeability area you're, but I'm gonna look at all chargeability area. And right now, for all chargeability area, so all of the countries around the world except China, India, Mexico, and Philippines, right now it is April 2007. And you are June 2007. So April 2007, and you are in June 2007. So you should definitely have already, so your immigrant visa should already be available. Your priority date is current because you're in June 2007, and right now we are on April 2007. Let's see, so April, June. Okay, so your priority date is not current yet. You are about, let me count, April, May. So you're like 2 months away from the priority date becoming current if you're in all chargeability area. Roughly 2 months, hopefully. I mean, we haven't seen a movement on the F4 for a while. Hopefully we will, but you are really, really close. Here's the thing. The reason why, it's so important for priority date to be current, even the, regardless of availability of the immigrant visa, is really important because you have a very, very big, important reason to file an expedited request with NVC. And you can definitely do that when you are documentarily qualified and when your immigrant visa is already available. And looks like your immigrant visa should be available literally in the next couple of months. Honestly, I would not wait for your priority to become current. I would try to submit an expedited request to the NVC and let them know that you are documentarily qualified, that your priority date will be current in the next month or two. It's like right there. And let them know. Explain the situation, explain them the reason, and request the expedited processing. I do have the video on this channel. It's pretty straightforward. It's really just an email. There's an email address for the NVC where you send an email asking for expedited processing. Basically, that's it. Obviously, I would, type it up, detailed, very, very, explaining the situation, and so that they do take it seriously, and probably attach some medical documents, so that they know it's not, you're not just, asking for this to be processed faster. There is a really important reason why you're requesting this. And on the side note, besides all of this, even with the expedited processing, even with all of this waiting just 2 months, I know it might not be like a lot to a lot of people, but in your situation, time really matters. So I honestly would recommend considering applying for a non-immigrant B1, B2 visa and going there to the embassy and because you can be, you can have that interview pretty quick. You can probably, within a couple of weeks, you can have that interview if you apply for that B1, B2 visa, if you submit the DS-160. As soon as they have the appointment, just schedule one. And go there and explain the situation. It is a little bit harder to get a non-immigrant visa whenever you do have the immigrant petition pending, but you do, like I said, you do have circumstances that pressing for time. So I hope you are able to resolve this, and if you can, please. I'm sure a lot of people, including myself on this channel, would be. We would want to know how is it working out for you. So hopefully you can make it work. Okay, let me post the response here, and we're gonna move on to the next question. Comment from Behankir Campbell 5141. Good day. I am documentarily qualified March 1st, 2021. Priority day May 2015. Okay, Behan Care. So in order to give you any kind of estimates, I do need to know the family preference category. Please let me know what the family preference category is and also the chargeability area. So for everyone who's watching these videos, if you do want to get the estimate of how long you will be waiting for your I-130 petition, for your immigrant visa to become current, I need three things: chargeability area, family preference category, and also the priority date. Again, yes, it helps if you tell me when you were documentarily qualified, but three minimal things I do need in order to look it up. So please, Behan Care, if you can, please let me know and I'll address your question in the next video. And also, for everyone, if you are posting any kind of additional comments or additional information that I requested, make sure to post it as a separate comment on any of the videos, but a separate comment. Don't respond to my comment within your comment, because YouTube does not send me those notifications for some reason. I don't know why. Moving further to Dyer 459, documentarily qualified on January 20, 2023, but still at NVC, no update. Dyer also, if you can, please, I need the family preference category and the priority date, and chargeability area definitely helps to see what's going on. So if you're documentarily qualified on January 20, 2023, it really depends on whether you are, if you're in the immediate relative category, then your immigrant visa was available a long time ago and you're just waiting for the interview, probably interview schedule. You're just waiting for, them sending you the notice. But again, if you are in one of the family preference categories where you're still waiting for the backlog, then, depending on how far your priority date is out, there might still be some time to wait. So please let me know in a follow-up comment and I will address it in the next video. Okay, moving further to Castran Sven 1024. Castran Sven, thank you for being publicly subscribed. I appreciate it. This is what this icon means. So, so Castran Sven says, this video is very informative and helpful indeed. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for watching. Okay, moving further to Annabelle Julianne 422. Good day. What travel documentation is needed to re-enter the US? Oh, if green card is expired. Oh, okay. So it depends. It depends on the circumstances. Man, that's not very good. I would recommend looking into the travel document, advanced parole, because that's probably what because here's the thing. Like if you left the United States and you had a permanent residence card, and the permanent residence card expired, you allowed it to expire, and you have not filed during that time, honestly, I would probably reach out to the U.S. Embassy, the local U.S. Embassy in the country where you're at, and asking them and letting them know, explaining the situation, what happened, because like I said, I'm sure there's got to be a way to work this out if there is some kind of extra whatever circumstances, like something that was outside of your control, probably with an advanced parole once again, which I would recommend looking into the advanced parole, which is usually what you would apply for if you are planning to leave United States with the green card for longer than 1 year. And in your situation it expired, which it's not a very good situation. So I don't think you are in the point where you can just ask somebody online and rely on that advice. Honestly, I think you need to reach out to the U.S. Embassy, ask them, and you probably do want to reach out to an immigration attorney here. That I don't know if they will be able to help you, but you definitely do need legal consultation, because it's a serious situation. It's one thing when you leave the United States and it's longer than expected and something happened and now you're applying, but you do have your valid permanent resident status, you come back in, no problems. Still can be problems, but more or less better. But with an expired green card, yeah, I would definitely recommend reaching out to an attorney. But first things first, call U.S. Embassy, and explain them the situation in detail, exactly what happened. Maybe make an appointment and see what they tell you. Man. Okay, moving further to user BR1QQ1MO9R. Please speed up F2A visa interview date. I got becoming documentarily qualified email July 2023, priority date 23 December 2021. When I got my interview appointment date? I think you still have some time to wait, because right now F2A for all chargeability is February 2019 and you are December 2021, so about roughly like 2022. So you have about 2019 and so like it's almost 3 years. Almost 3 more years you have to wait before the availability of the immigrant visa, before your priority date becomes current. Less than 3 years. If I make my math is not very good, but right now, as of October 2023, people with priority dates in February 2019, their immigrant visas are becoming available for the F2A category, and you are in December 2021. So is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Well, you do the math, but yeah, you still definitely do have some time to wait before the availability of the immigrant visa. Okay, moving further to Denise Tofour. Denise, thank you for another comment. Always appreciate your comments. As you can see, Denise is one of the top commenters on this channel. He says, "Hi sir, thank you for your help and answers always. After becoming documentarily qualified, how long will it stay with NVC before it's been transferred to the local embassy for interview?" Denise, as always, excellent question. Really good question. It really depends if you are an immediate relative or if you are in family preference category and your immigrant visa is available or not. Because if it is not available yet, they don't transfer it to the US Embassy unless it is closer to the availability of the immigrant visa. If you're an immediate relative, obviously once you're documentarily qualified, that's it. They immediately send it. But most family preference categories, like for example, user BR1QQ, they still have quite a long time to wait before their priority date is current. So their case is still with NVC. They have not sent it to the US Embassy yet. It's possible that they will send it probably like in the next year, and then the US Embassy will just sit on it and wait before it becomes current. Because you have to keep in mind that the visa backlog and the information that we're getting from the Department of State on the priority dates that are moving closer to the availability of the immigrant visa, US embassies, they really don't have control over it. And that's why you see situations where the immigrant visa was scheduled because the priority date was current, and then the visa bulletin retrogresses for a certain family preference category, and then US embassy cancels the appointment because they depend on these priority dates being current. If it's not current, they cannot give you the immigrant visa because it is literally not available because it is capped, unfortunately. So yes, depending on, like I said, if it's immediate relative category, then your immigrant visa is available after I-130 is approved by USCIS already. So it's a pretty smooth process. You're still waiting for the NVC to go through documentary qualification process, sending the documents to US Embassy, but there is no dealing with a backlog. But if you are dealing with a backlog, then NVC will keep it up until the immigrant visa is available, closer to the availability of the immigrant visa, and then send it to the US Embassy for review. So yeah, Denise, thank you for another great question. I'm sure this is going to be helpful to a lot of people. Moving further to View Ltd. View, thank you so much for being publicly subscribed. Appreciate it. So View got an update. I got an interview date on 28 September. Okay, in 5 days, View, you got the interview. Congratulations, that's awesome. Initially, I contacted them through an email, and later in September, I started calling them directly. Good. On 22nd September morning at 8:07 a.m., they responded to my email that I sent on 18 September, stating they will give me an appointment date later today. At 8:55 a.m. I received my interview date. Thanks you all guys, and especially for immigration help. View, well done, really well done. I really hope that, you know, first of all, thank you for the update. You know, I really appreciate it. You don't need this. I'll type in congratulations. There you go. I think a lot of people, you know, and View, I don't remember how old were you, but I think you were like under 21. You were like 18, 19. A lot of people need to look at you and your persistence and you staying on top of your case, you know, because more often than not, I see people just, you know, they submit a document or even with an attorney and that's it, they forget, you know. You were on top of your case, you knew exactly what's going on, you knew exactly what you were doing, and you were calling them and you were emailing them and you made it happen. So well done, well done. Man, that's awesome. Okay, moving further to AMZ229. Hello sir, good day. My priority date March 2015 and I was documentarily qualified this year, February 2023. I received email from NVC informing me for my next interview appointment. Until now it's been 7 months, still I didn't receive interview appointment. What should I do? Should I still wait or file an expedited request to speed up my scheduling interview? So I don't think you have provided a family preference category, so I'm unfortunately priority date March 2015. I mean, you can be in F1, you can be in F2B, or probably not any of this because you're already documentarily qualified. So you're either F1 or F2B. Okay. So for example, if you're F1, let's just do it as an example. If you're an F1 and your priority date is March 2015, and we're looking at January 2015 right now, it means you're about 2-3 months away from the availability of the immigrant visa. Probably that's why the interview has not been scheduled yet, because your immigrant visa is not available. So that's, you know, visa bulletin is very important whenever it comes to stuff like this, because your priority date has to be current on the visa bulletin before the interview is scheduled. Now, whenever it comes to the expedited request, absolutely, I would recommend filing an expedited request to everyone, you know. But there are two big requirements that are necessary before you can even consider filing the expedited request, before even, you know, even the reason for the expedited request. It is, you have to be documentarily qualified, and also your immigrant visa has to be available. So if your priority date is not current on the visa bulletin, NVC will just respond, sorry, we can't do anything for you because your priority date is not current yet. So these are two main things that are required to file the expedited request. So if you want, let me know what your family preference category is. Let me know once again your priority date, and also let me know the chargeability area, and I'll take a look at the visa bulletin once again and we'll give you some rough estimates. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Looks like two questions from Kat. CW6YD, thanks sir for this video. I am married through B2 visa and live in US now. Should I file I-130 online together with I-485, I-864 mail package for GC applications? Please advise. Thank you. Let me read the second comment as well. Thank you for very helpful video. Do I need my husband, US citizen, with his USCIS login to apply his I-130 online, or can I use my login, apply I-130 together? I-765, I-131, note, B2 status through marriage and live in US now. Thank you. Okay, Kat, so the very first thing that I'm going to tell you is, here's the thing. Yes, you are married to a US citizen, but you are still on the B2 status, okay? Because nothing has been filed yet. So you have to keep in mind that you do need to maintain that valid B2 status, which when you enter B1, B2, non-immigrant visa, they give you duration of stay most of the time 6 months. So hopefully that's not expired yet. It's very, very important. You have to maintain, and for everyone who's watching, you have to maintain legal status in the US. Just because your I-130, if you're planning to file, or let's say, like for example, situation with Kat, you know, just because she's married to a US citizen, she is still on a B2 status, and she still has a B2 visa, and that's how she's here in the United States. And until the I-130 is approved and the immigrant visa is issued to Kat, she has to maintain a valid status in the US, which means that she would most likely have to file the extensions for the B1, B2. Okay, Kat, very important. Don't let your duration of stay expire. Don't go past the expiration date on that duration of stay, because if you do, then you're gonna have problems during your, getting your permanent residence, and it will keep following you throughout until you're done with naturalization. It will keep following you. It's very important. So here's the thing, in your situation, because you are B2, you're here in the US, because it's kind of time pressing, again, I'm gonna assume that your B1, B2 has not expired yet, and your duration of stay that you got when you entered the country has not expired yet. Because if it did, then it's problematic. Then I would recommend reaching out to an attorney. This makes it, not a very good situation. But assuming that your B2 is still valid and your duration of stay when you entered the country that they gave you initially on your B2 is still valid, I would recommend as soon as possible filing an extension for your B2. It's very straightforward. It can be done online. It's form I-539. Let me double check that. Might as well use this as an opportunity to show some navigation on USAS website, which is official government website for US Citizenship and Immigration Services. Any kind of application, any kind of petition is available here. So we're gonna go to forms, all forms, and you can type in the search menu 539. There you go, application to extend, change non-immigrant status. So I would do this first so that you have this pending, and now you are in the country on your B2 status and you have a pending extension, and now you can remain in the country past your duration of stay. It's not recommended, keep it in mind. It doesn't guarantee a status or anything like this, but at least you have this extension pending. It covers, it's kind of like insurance policy for the questions that you will have during your further in your immigration process, asking, hey, why did you overstay? And you'll say, hey, yeah, this situation happened, blah blah blah, I got married, and I in order to maintain my legal status, I applied for the extension. So that will cover. And then as soon as, because you're pressed for time, the I-130, I would not recommend worrying about filing I-130 and the 485 together, because yes, you can do that. You can do that, especially because you are here in the US. You can definitely do that, but I would not recommend doing that, because in order to file them together, you do have to file them by mail. And when you do stuff by mail, it takes significantly more time than filing an online application, because literally right now, today, your husband can go online, usas.gov, find the same way, find this one you can do today as well, I-539, so that you have your status going, and then same thing, I don't know why it's taking forever, but same thing, find the I-130 and submit it online so that the process has started. Again, the I-130 is available online, and once it is submitted, it is immediately received by USCIS, so you can imagine how much faster it is than filing all of these paper applications. You will receive the response much faster. Again, Kat, please keep in mind that just because you filed the I-130 and you have the I-130 pending, it does not give you any kind of legal status in the US. You cannot remain just in the US just by saying that, hey, I have the pending I-130. You are still on your B2 and you have to maintain that. It's very important. So hopefully it has not expired yet, but like I said, if it is, I would definitely recommend reaching out to an attorney, because now you're dealing with a little bit more serious situation. So here I'm gonna, well, I mean, you do know that USA is online, so I'm sure you know how to find the forms, so I'm not gonna post any links. But if you do have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to come back on this channel. I really hope you can work this out and file everything as soon as possible so that it gets on going, because you definitely don't want to be out of status at no point throughout your immigration process in general, because it will raise some questions. A lot of times you can these questions are not unresolvable. You can resolve these questions, but sometimes it's pretty hard. And I've seen some cases where people were out of status for like few days because they were changing status and they didn't have a time to, the time wise it didn't work out. And they had problems. Instead of doing no interview, they had to do 3 interviews, and they had to do a lot of explanation. They had to submit a lot of documents. It's some runaround. So you definitely don't want to deal with that. So thank you very much everyone for watching. Hopefully today's video was helpful. Not easy questions, I gotta say, not easy situations in this video. And again, please keep in mind, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. I try to help as much as possible, and I try to be considerate as much as possible. But still, you got to keep in mind that my experience is from my own immigration path, from working for an immigration attorney and seeing cases and dealing with cases and filing petitions. So that's really it. It's not a service. It's not a and there are some situations where you might want to consider an immigration attorney. And if you do, I do have actually a video on this channel where I talk about how to find a good immigration attorney, so you can refer to that. So thank you very much everyone for watching. Again, hopefully this was helpful. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.